You're listening to the BNI Effect, the podcast for Brisbane entrepreneurs who believe in givers gain. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach specialising in sales and leadership. But today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bringing yet another amazing interview with a Brisbane BNI member. In this episode, I chat with a Brisbane BNI member to explore their biggest wins, the biggest lessons, and how you can get the most out of your BNI membership. This is episode number 96, and today's guest is Hue Kedge from Branding Profiles. Hue, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here. Look, why don't we kick it off with the BNI story and specifically what the best referral is that you've either given or received through BNI?
I guess for me, the best referral I've actually given is one to our digital marketer segment. So I had a meeting with one of my clients who is a brand designer. And in that conversation, he just happens to say, "Oh, I think I need a digital marketer." And I was like, you know what? I'm meeting with a digital marketer this afternoon. So I met them both on the same day and I introduced them and off they went. And so for the past year or so, every month I'm logging 5 referrals to Sigmund and they're big accounts. So it's a recurring account. And I think I don't know how many tiers. So my referral referred him to someone else who referred again. So he's
And,
very
and 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 that's the power of BNI, isn't it? It's not just necessarily the person that you're referring to. It's like, well, they have a positive experience, and they tell their friends, and they tell their friends, and on it goes. So that's a wonderful example of the power of BNI. Thank you for
and
sharing.
trust as well.
I mean, you wouldn't refer if you didn't
Yeah,
have that trust,
exactly.
right? And so for me, I talk about it's the know, like, and trust philosophy, and that is that I want to get to know someone, I want to like that someone, but ultimately it's about trust. And when I have trust, then I'm able to refer to that other person. I'm happy to introduce them to my network,
Yeah.
which it sounds like you did, and then that referral just kept rippling out, which is amazing. When did you first discover BNI?
Um, Back about 20 years ago, actually, at Canary Wharf in the UK, I was working there and I was made redundant. And so a friend of mine said, "Hey, come along as a visitor to BNI." And I was in my 20s then, very different mindset. And I was terrified because I hated public speaking. And so I walked away feeling so nervous. And that was my first experience. But then 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I met Mark Winter through, I was photographing him for Moment, and he said, "Hey, we're starting up a chapter here. Up for you to come along." And I said, "No, no, no," because, past experience. And I had all these excuses. And then fast forward a few months later, I received a message in my inbox from the web designer in the chapter inviting me to an open invite. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'll pop along. And I joined on the day because my mindset was right. I was ready, my business was ready, and the room was just so warm. It just felt right. So I literally signed on the day.
So, which is amazing. So, talk me through 20 years ago, you discovered it. So, you did nothing for 16 years. Is that what you're saying with BNI?
Yeah,
And
we did
then,
have
and
nothing.
yeah, and then Mark reached out and you still didn't do much, but then you
Yeah,
got another person reach out. And you thought, right, I'll finally give it a go, which is
yeah.
amazing. What was it about that first meeting? So, you said it was warm, but what was it about that first meeting? Went, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to sign up today.
Yeah, I think it was just the warm welcome. Because when you go into networking first, especially if you don't network a lot, it's quite intimidating because you're in a room, you don't know anyone. But I just felt so welcomed. And then I had never gone to a network meeting where everyone got to speak twice. So at that stage when I joined, I mentally, my mindset was like, look, I want to scale my business, but everything that I hate, I'm not good at, is holding me back. And a big part of that was public speaking.
Mm.
And so I got in there and I saw everyone stand up and giving it a go. And I thought, you know what? I think this is what I need. So it wasn't so much for the business side of things, but it was for the personal development. And it just felt right. I'm like, it feels safe in here to just give things a go. You make a mistake, that's okay. And I think that's why I joined, because I was ready to take the next step in investing in myself.
Which is amazing. And I hear that a lot, Hue, where people come in for referrals, they want to grow their business, but then there's a whole range of other things that BNI provides, which, as you said, the opportunity to speak twice. You get to speak in front of 20, 30, 40 odd people, depends on the size of your chapter, and you get to do it twice. And it's like anything that the more you do of something, the better you'll become. So, like you said, initially it was like, oh my gosh, I'm maybe a little bit timid about this, a bit unsure, a bit anxious about it. But you do it every week, you keep coming back, you get to refine a message. And it's not just about the public speaking in front of the group either. It's about refining a message so that when you're in your gallery, we're going to talk about your business in a moment, you're able to have an amazing conversation with the prospective customer or customer because of the range of skills that you've learned through BNI.
Absolutely.
When did you know that BNI was going to be for you? So meeting one, you signed up. It's like, I'm in. How far into that journey did you go, you know what, this is really going to be worth it?
I think when I did my first 5-minute presentation, most chapters get 10, but we are a big chapter, so we get 5. It was so nerve-wracking and I was shaking in my boots. But I think afterwards, just everyone reaching out and saying, great job. We know you were nervous, but you did really well. And I think for me, it was the support in the room, because you forget that everyone else started the same way you did. And and they're all there to help you succeed in business and in life. It just felt great to be supported. And we still do a lot of that in our group, the big chapters. We see, the new guys come in, their first presentation. I'm always taking photos and sending them to them, say, hey, well done, because it feels good. It feels good to be acknowledged and to be supported.
Well, it's incredibly powerful to be surrounded by like-minded people, people who want to see you succeed. It's amazing. And that's the giver's gain,
Yeah.
value right there. It's like, well, I want to help you get the best out of your journey and be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Powerful. What do you do consistently in BNI that brings you results, Wei?
For me, I have it's been 4 years, so I've reworked my little pitch every time, and I come at it as a opportunity to educate people on what I do. So there's obviously we get 45 seconds. So there's this, you can share, a client story or whatever, but with my business and where I'm heading, it's all about educating and telling people, and giving them tips and giving them value. So in 45 seconds, I can give them a tip that they can run with and then use in the business straight away. And it's worked because then people see me as an expert in what I do rather than
Mm,
trying to sell something, because everyone knows I'm a photographer. I take
mm.
photos. But why I'm different is what they hear each time I stand up.
But that whole adding of value is give us gain again.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
about I'm going to help someone, help them be successful, give them some advice,
Yeah.
and then the law of reciprocity has an uncanny way of kicking in. What mistakes do you see members make that perhaps holds them back, Hue?
Um, so the reverse of that is
Hmm.
standing up and using the 45 seconds or 60 seconds to repeat what they do. And and like if you do that, that's the sit you hold. People know what you do.
Hmm.
They want to know how you do it, or
Hmm.
how you can help them. Um, and I think that's just a BNI thing. It just takes time to work out, oh, actually, I don't need to sell what I do because people know what I do.
Hmm.
I need to sell how I do it, who I am, and
Hmm.
how I can help. And for me, I think that's the biggest difference. And you can see like seasoned members going up, standing up, and I've had 4 years practice, so I know now. I still get nervous as hell when I say it, but the content that I share, is of value. Whereas new members, they're not quite there yet. But when they get it, you can see the moment they transition to go, oh, aha, I get it. I
Hmm.
know what to say now. The confidence is definitely there, very visible.
Hmm. Fantastic. Let's talk about your business, branding profiles. So, can you give myself, but also give the viewers and the listeners an overview of your business? What are the services that you provide?
Yeah. So branding profiles, I started. So my background's marketing,
Hmm.
um, and I've had lots of international marketing opportunities overseas. I came back to Australia, could not find a work. That was in 2010. I hired myself as a photographer, so I started my own business and doing family photography, and then I transitioned to family newborn. Sorry, out of family newborn and into branding and marketing photography, purely because I really missed being able to help people with the strategy side of things. So branding profiles is very specifically, I take marketing photos that help tell the story of the people behind the business. That's my tagline, I say every time I stand up, because marketing, people, and stories, that's what makes you different. And so I do that with branding photography, business photography. And this year I'm actually rebranding and relaunching my business to also include videography and consultancy. So
Great.
yeah,
Okay. And so whilst currently the sort of core offering is around photography, but you're saying that, do you offer then marketing support in relation to that and helping people or it's more at the moment, it's just here's the photographs. Appreciate you're going to move towards that with videography and consultation, but
So with my photography, I've never just turned up to shoot. Like when a client engages me, whether it's a 1 hour shoot or a half-day shoot, which is what I offer at the moment, there is so much pre-planning. The ones that spend half a day with me, they get a 5-page questionnaire about their business, who they are personally, who they are at work, where they are, and where they want to go. And my job is to work all that into visual communication, a way in their photos so that it tells their story of mainly where they want to go, but also stories that help them use to reflect. Because for me, business photography is an investment, and a lot of people don't quite get that. They see it as, oh, I need photos for my website. Tick that off my list. They get photos, and that is all they do with it. Whereas the way I see it, it's just another toolkit, a tool in your marketing kit, right? It's an investment. If you spend the money, get the most out of it, reuse it, repurpose it, post it everywhere, but do it with intention. So the photos that I take, there's a reason why that shot is photographed there and why I'm advising you to wear that style of clothing. Or so my clients know that when they get the photos, they know exactly how to use those photos and why they're using those photos. If it's whether it's building credibility or, reflecting on their journey, because a lot of clients just don't want to talk about themselves. But then the thing is, you don't need to talk about all the things that, about you. It's more about how that relates to your clients and how that's going to help them. So you choose parts of your story that you want to share that explains how you got to where you are now and how you can, help your clients. So for me, photography is just a really powerful tool. And especially everything's online now. That's your first point of contact with someone. Before you get to meet them and feel their vibe, you see their photo. And a lot of times, if it's really generic or too polished is another trap as well. If it's too beautiful, too polished, you don't trust it, right? You're like, okay, it's probably AI, or does that person even exist? Or you go on someone's page and all they have is these beautiful text things, and there's and photos of their job or what they've done, the finished product, but you don't actually see the people. And especially now in this environment, like there's so many scams and stuff. So I think the more authentic you are, the more presence you have in everything, then the more you're trusted.
I was just going to say the word trust, but you took the words out of my mouth. It goes back to what we're saying around know, like, and trust. And if there is a real, authentic image on the website, then it helps build the trust. It's certainly part of the story anyway, which is amazing. How is your business different, Hue?
Yeah, so I think that spin on it, the marketing side of things, is I come from a point of strategy. So I see photography as my craft, but the core value that I offer to my clients is the strategy behind showing up in the business and actually showing up full stop. Because a lot of new businesses, especially, don't want to step out of the comfort zone, don't want to say, hey, this is us, because they feel icky about it. And I was like that. I was like, oh, it's so vain. I don't want to share another photo of me. What do I talk about? So how I'm different is I try to switch the mindset and I educate them on, actually, if you use this photo this way, it's not about you. It's about how you're serving. And if you switch your mindset like that, it's like the more I share about what I do and how I do things, hopefully the person who needs me most will say, you're the right person for me, because there's so many other people doing what you do. Like how does someone choose? So I want people to have enough content out there so that when others are researching, all the answers, all the questions are answered before they make the call. So when they're making the call, they're asking you to book, not more questions. So I think that's pretty much it. The strategy side of thing is
Yeah, great. Well, they tell us that a picture tells a thousand words, right? So that's fantastic. Who's an ideal referral for you right now?
an ideal referral for me right now, especially with the direction I'm going, are businesses with like small to medium businesses with staff who are personal brands themselves. So staff who need to build the trust themselves. So real estate agents, lawyers, all those types of businesses that really need to encourage their staff to step out of the comfort zone, because as a company they can do so much, but really the staff are the ones who are going to see the people who need to generate their own networks as well. So that would be fantastic for me, especially going into the consultancy side of things. I'd be able to help them navigate through that visibility roadblock.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Let's play a word association game now. Clay. We're going to change tack a little bit. I'm going to say a one word, and you're going to give me a short, sharp response, and let's
Yep.
see how we go. So the first word is networking.
Fun.
Referrals,
um, Appreciated.
success,
Freedom.
coffee,
Always.
giver's gain,
Gratitude.
sport,
Spectator.
team,
Cheerleader.
and BNI.
Family.
Well done. If you could give us one piece of wisdom or advice to someone who wants to grow their business through networking, specifically BNI networking, what would it be, Hue?
I would say focus on building like relationships with people. The one-to-ones are fantastic. It really allows people to understand who you are as a person, and then when they get to know you, they trust you more, basically. And I've had new people come who have never met before, and you kind of like in your head make perceptions or judge them without wanting to judge them, and you just do, right? And then you talk to them, and then afterwards you can see the interaction between people are completely different. You become mates. So definitely work those one-to-ones because you build the trust.
Now, I'm going to ask this question. I think you answered it earlier, but what's one exciting thing happening in your business right now that you'd like listeners to know about? But I think you shared it a moment ago around the videography and this consultation.
Yeah. So just means that I have an opportunity to service my clients better. So there's a lot of photography I don't do, event photography, real estate photography, all that. I have a beautiful big network of people who are very good at that I can bring into my business to help serve my clients better. So that's
Very
really
good.
exciting.
How can listeners get in touch with you or learn more about your business?
I am everywhere. So on LinkedIn, I'm under Hue Kedge. Social media, I have a personal brand page, Hue Kedge Official, and also branding profiles is on Facebook and Instagram under branding profiles, and a new website coming soon.
More excitement. That's amazing. Clay, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Look, that wraps up today's episode of the BNI Effect. Many thanks to today's guest, Hue Kedge, for sharing her insights with us around what's possible in BNI. If you're a BNI member, perhaps there's an idea that you heard today or saw today that you could implement. And if you're a visitor to BNI, I hope you see how powerful this community really can be. Subscribe to hear more or view more real stories from Brisbane BNI members. And until next time, give more, trust more, grow more.